an Uber to the airport. I had a random guy from Hinge drive me, and this year I have had chlamydia twice. So far.
Here's the cold, hard truth about modern Western women. They've lost the plot of who they are and what they want to do with their lives. Feminism sold them a lie that they're only realizing now. Society and culture tell them one thing, and their own common sense tells them something else. In all of this, they really know what to do anymore. You can notice that the Western world has certain things in common if you look closely. To be clear, when I refer to the Western world, I mean the advanced, industrialized, innovative societies that can be found in the US, Canada, Europe, the United Kingdom, and possibly Australia and New Zealand. What shares these societies fundamentally with one another? How men and women interact has to do with the deterioration of moral norms. It's because gender roles are shifting, and Western males no longer even make an effort to get in touch with and date Western women. Of course, we can contend that it's essentially over for Western women.
Why do women often choose to make lists of what they want in a relationship rather than what they bring to the table?
Do they though?
Well, I mean, don't a lot of women say they want like a guy who's 6 feet tall and 6 figures and 6-pack?
Yeah.
So we call that the rule of sixes, but you don't typically see a woman saying...
But I mean, it could go both ways, but it's always been in society where the man has to be the man in the relationship. That's how I want him to be, the bigger person, the one to bring everything to the table.
If they don't see a guy that's 6'5", 6'2", basketball player, NBA, if you don't make over 5K or 12K or however much, it's to the standards. The standards are overwhelming, and I blame...
When these Western women reach their 20s, they begin to buy into the awakened feminist narrative that says they can live entirely independently of males and don't require them in their life. Some even chase the bad boys they've been chasing since high school, only to be discarded and left stranded in the world. They chase education, research, careers, corporate ladders, and bad boyfriends. As they reach a particular degree of accomplishment, they become aware that their biological clock is about to expire and that they may not be able to have children after this point. When this happens, they fly into panic mode and start looking for the guy they've been friend-zoning and messing around with since high school, only to find out that he's moved on, married to a stunning woman, prosperous, and raising his kids. After hitting the wall, that is the first shock that Western women experience. They then start looking for men online and use social media platforms and dating apps. It turns out that their popularity has decreased from when they were in their 20s, when they could flaunt their bikini figures and draw attention wherever they went. They keep looking, but they can only find young men who are interested in them for one-night stands and for physical gratification. Young men just getting started out in their own lives and stepping into their careers. That's the second biggest surprise for Western women. After this, they either leave it to luck and go about their lives trying to find and date successful men who can match their economic standards, or they turn toward social media platforms such as TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram to spew hatred against men, telling the world why men don't deserve them because they're just perfect in about everything they are. So that's what's happening in the Western world, just to give you context.
When should a man start making 100K?
I say at the ripe age of 18, you are out of your household, and if you have a girlfriend at the time, you should provide for your woman. I am a firm believer in that women should not work and that women's rights suck. So that men should provide for women, and I should not work my life, ever.
I'm gonna say the opposite. I think realistically, a man should make 100K around like 27. I feel like that's a good age. 27 to 33, 35.
Well, let's backpedal a little bit, because what you said was kind of crazy. Yeah. You don't think that's delusional at all?
I have my delulu moments, but also I do not want to work. So a man should make 100K by the time that I'm dating him, so I don't have to work ever.
Has the past guys that you've dated made 100K?
The past guys that I have dated have been 2 inches shorter than me and have $0 in their bank account, but now I am aiming high.
So, according to these delusional women, a man should be making 100K in his mid to late 20s. Wow. Talk about delusions. Why are men not even trying to date, be in a relationship, or commit to women anymore? The answer is right here. You see, men just don't see the point anymore. They don't see the point in chasing women, only to be told they're not good enough. For years and years, men have shouldered the responsibility to take care of women in every way possible. They've taken the responsibility to approach women, make the first moves, and take the initiative in every way possible. only for women to play hard to get it each and every second, to use men for their own material gains, and to discard of them when they see a better and wealthier man giving them attention.
When you cheat on somebody and they don't even react, or you know you can get away with it, it's easier to do it. I was in a relationship where I know the person knew I was cheating on them and they didn't do anything about it, which did two things. One, it made it easier to do, and two, it made me wonder, then why are you even with me?
Right.
Are you with me for the right reasons? You let me do what I'm doing, so why are you even with me?
Men are disgusted to the core at how women monkey branch off to other men as a result of their hypergamous nature. A core part of female nature is hypergamy, which means they date up the socioeconomic strata. This might be great for them, but it's demoralizing for men. Imagine a guy who makes just enough money to pay his bills, put decent and healthy food on the table, have a nice car, and a decent apartment, and do everything he can to accommodate the woman he loves. He uses his life savings to buy her a diamond ring, help her settle in with him, pay for her lifestyle, and even take her on trips to other cities. He's doing everything he can to make her happy. Now imagine that the same woman starts getting some attention from a rich businessman who earns more in a day than the woman's current boyfriend earns in an entire month. That man finds her attractive and keeps sending her messages and sliding into her DMs. She eventually agrees to see him and is blown away by his wealth and the luxury handbags, heels, and watches he gifts her. What he spends on her is nothing for him, by the way, but what her current boyfriend spent on her was everything to him. Now imagine, that woman dumps her boyfriend and starts dating the wealthy billionaire full-time. She just discards the guy who truly loved her with all his heart and just jumps on a chance to be with the wealthy guy. And guess what? That wealthy guy then dumps her after a few months, leaving her stranded and begging her old boyfriend to move back in with him. Sure, this sounds like a drama or a movie, but it's a common reality. This is what men are facing every single day. Men are supposed to act traditionally and roll out the red carpet for women in every way possible, while women are okay mistreating, misbehaving with, and discarding guys just because they have 100 thirsty simps lusting after them. Men work in the most brutal conditions and fields and make sure they put food on the table for women, while woke anti-male feminist women talk about more women being CEOs and heads of organizations, saying that every profession is patriarchal. However, they never want to take part in all those professions in which men risk their lives trying to provide for their families. What does this tell you? This tells us that women only want the best of all worlds. They want to be treated like queens in relationships. They want to be treated like something else in the bedrooms. They want to be treated like CEOs as soon as they walk in an office. They want to be treated like celebrities wherever they go. The fact is that women want attention. They seek approval, constantly, every single day. Without having to put in any effort, they want everyone to compliment them on how terrific they are. As the MGTOW community expands exponentially, more and more men are learning the truth about the true nature of women and how they naturally depend on men's labor and desire their free privileges. And with all the men from around the world sharing their stories about betrayal and disloyalty at the hands of women, women really need to think, or there will come a time when they'll have to beg men for attention that they have and are currently receiving for absolutely free. Men have realized that it is better to pursue their purpose, grow their businesses, master their expertise, and follow their greatest passions than to chase or spending time with women. They are content once they have achieved their goal. The welfare of their partners, kids, and other family members used to be this objective. People are increasingly drawn to pursuing their passions because they see a return on their time and dedication in this way. Men must feel appreciated for what they do for women, and women must recognize this. The most important attribute that women may bring to a partnership must always be loyalty. Western women have no chance if this is the case. Thanks for watching Man Reacts. Show us your love and support by liking this video, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to the channel. Support us and help us spread support for men around the world. Do comment and share your thoughts. We're always up for a healthy debate and discussion.